Hey everyone, welcome back. Today's video is going to be a Christmas tutorial on how to make a Santa Claus costume for a Schleich horse. So as you can see here, I've already have a Schleich Santa Claus. So in this video, I'm actually going to be making a Mrs. Claus costume, but it's the exact same costume I made for Santa Claus, only I'm putting it on a mare and she's going to be Mrs. Claus. Anyways, so let's get started with the materials you'll need are some red felt, white felt, one white pipe cleaner, several small bells. These I just bought at the craft store and I'm pretty sure they are at most craft stores. Some wire, I used 20 gauge, 2 or 3 millimeter black ribbon, same size of white ribbon, scissors, pliers, hot glue, wire cutters, 2 6mm jump rings, 1 white pom-pom for on the Santa hat. Now I actually have no white pom-poms left, so I will be making mine out of felt, but if you have one, they work perfectly. And lastly, the model horse that you're making the costume for. So the first thing you're going to do is we are going to cut out the blanket. So I'm using this draft size blanket that I had already made. I'm going to be using it as a pattern. So I'm going to pin it on and of course cut it out. You should now have a cutout of a red blanket, and I'm just placing it on Bella, make sure it fits. Now you're going to glue a white border the whole way around the blanket. So we're just going to apply glue to the white ribbon and begin gluing a border on. So once you're done gluing on the border, your blanket should look something like this. And mine looks a little messy, but we're going to fix that. So you're going to cut off the little bit of felt that is sticking out beyond the border and basically clean up the edges and cut off any glue that has squeezed out as well. Now that that's done, our blanket looks much cleaner. Now we're going to cut a small piece of white felt and glue it onto the blanket for wither padding. Next, we're going to thread 2 jump rings onto the white ribbon. Then apply glue to the end of the ribbon and glue it down, making sure not to get any glue onto the jump rings. Cut the ribbon about a ½ inch long and also trim off any glue that may have squeezed out. We are going to take that piece we just made, apply glue onto the back of it, and glue it onto the front of the blanket. Next, add glue onto the back of another piece of white ribbon and glue it onto the front of the blanket, but on the other side. Of course, add a little bit of glue to the end of that ribbon to keep it from fraying. This is what your blanket should look like so far on your horse. But now we're going to make it a little bit more fancy, so measure and cut a piece of pipe cleaner from the front of the blanket to the wither padding. Then apply glue onto the ribbon where you had just measured the pipe cleaner. After that, quickly grab the pipe cleaner you cut and place it onto the glue. And you're going to repeat this on the other side. You are also going to measure, cut, and glue a piece of pipe cleaner that goes around the back of the blanket. What you have so far should look like this. Next, it is time to make a buckle, so place your wire in between your pliers and wrap the wire around the end of your pliers. Then pull your pliers out. Mine are a little stuck here. Then snip the end of the wire that is attached to the spool. Then place the buckle inside of your pliers and squeeze it all together. This just smushes the buckle so the ribbon can't slip out. And lastly, trim off any long bits of wire that are sticking out. After that, measure and cut a piece of black ribbon that goes around the horse with the blanket on. Thread the buckle onto the end of that piece of black ribbon and glue the end down, making sure not to get any glue onto the buckle. Then add glue to the other end of the ribbon so it doesn't fray and buckle it around the blanket, and this just keeps the blanket in place, and it also looks like Santa Claus's black belt. Now we're going to make a little sash of jingle bells, so measure and cut a piece of black ribbon around the horse's neck. Thread one of the bells onto the end of the ribbon. Add a small little dab of hot glue and glue the bell into it. And repeat this several times with more bells. Once you reach the end, simply apply a little bit of glue and glue the ends together. And this is what your jingle bells should look like. Now lastly, we're going to make a Santa hat. So start with cutting out a piece of red felt. I don't really know exactly how to explain this shape, but it's kind of like this, and you're going to cut out 2 of those. This is what mine look like, and they're fairly the same. Now I'm going to take one of those little pieces of felt and my wire, and I'm going to measure and cut a small piece of wire to go inside of it. So here we have the little piece of wire. I have bent it into the shape of the felt. Now add glue onto the felt and glue on your piece of wire. It looks very messy, but that's okay because now we're going to add glue onto the whole entire piece of felt, and we're going to glue on the other piece of felt that we cut out earlier. Now place that in between your horse's ears and bend the top down and kind of twist it to the side, just trying to make it look the way Santa's hat does. I am going to try to make a white pom-pom by cutting 2 white felt circles and add a little dot of glue to the end of the hat and glue on 1 felt circle. Then add glue to the back of that and glue on the other felt circle. Now take a small square of red felt, fold it in half, and cut 2 little slits. You're going to place that onto your horse's ears and add glue to the bottom of the little hat piece, and you're going to glue that onto the felt in between the horse's ears. To finish the hat off, we're going to glue a piece of pipe cleaner onto the front. I also glued a little piece of pipe cleaner bent into a circle onto the white felt pom-pom just to make it look fluffy. Alright, so we are finally done. I hope you guys enjoyed this little Christmas special tutorial. Happy holidays, and I'll see you next time. Bye!